Hi guys, and welcome in this video where I want to show you how to set up a sign-up flow or a call to action flow rather. In this example we do a sign-up flow registration within Sidetracker for a SaaS company as an example, but it's applicable for everything, and the main focus here is the API, so how to use the API. You can apply the same techniques for forms or checkout buttons or whatever is your call to action, but I will show you how it's done within this SaaS example. So we have this website, and here we have a start free trial, and what we did is we keep the session ID, the Sidetracker session ID within the URL. You can also store it in a local storage if you like, but this is the way I prefer it. And when I fill out this form, so the company, my name, and then a password, 123. So if we would now sign up, I will show you what's done within the code of this application. And, so within this application we have it's a Django application, Python, and it goes for everything I would say, but this is just the example I can show you. Within the sign up flow, so we sign up, and here we handle the form submission and we create an organization and what have you, and at one point we say get the session ID from the URL. So when there is a session ID we parse the data, and the data name is company name is the company, and then we have the email, which is the email field, and we have a unique ID for this company that's created in the backend, and we relate that. Also the same session ID we are saving within the organization of this SaaS application, so we can always make a match. That's a personal choice. So then we go to add metadata to session and execute trigger, and that's a script we have here, a Sidetracker script. And we say add metadata to session. We just set up a request to the tracking update, and that's the update of this tracking object, so this one. And then we update these fields. And we can only update the information we have, of course, in this case company name, email. And we say if action is sign up, and that's something we just did here, sign up. Then we add to the metadata sign up is true, and if it's activation is true, and then we also set the sales status to lead, which is here, and it's all in capital, but here you say customer, and if you say lead, it's lead, and that's just a good mark to keep track of where your customers are in your sales funnel. And of course if it's paid, and we can already change this, would be customer. So this is a little script, and then we update the metadata within the data we already passed, and then we do our call, a put call. So that's that, simple. And then the next step is a trigger. We execute a trigger, and that trigger is here. We execute it on session ID with a trigger ID. Why do we want to do this? And we have this trigger, there's this one, sign up register, and it does nothing, it enters a void. But what it does is it will register our API call, and that we use within the funnel. So we could say, for example, Google paid to sign up, and then one is the sign up register trigger, and that's the one we just trigger here, and then a log will be created, and we can base our funnel on this as a step. So that's why we want to do that. And then we are now working on one more, and that's what I want to show you, just to get a bit of feeling with it. We add a row to list, and I think we add it here. And I see that Copilot is pre-filling it for me, probably not right, so let's double check that soon. First we save this. I like to isort things in Python just to organize everything properly. OCD thing, but yeah, then we have add row to list, and then we go to our list. We have a list here and it says signups. We have our ID here, but let's go there. And then we have our ID here. And do we want a session ID? I don't think so. We have a list ID. Yeah, we want a session ID, correct. And we don't say list data, because I want to control what we parse. So how is this done? We have a postman here and lists add row to list. And it's simple, just a dictionary in Python terms or JSON in other terms. And we can add all the fields like this. Now in our example, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields. You can add as many as you want. Add column also when you create a list, but we don't need more than this in my case. The description I will use for some little note probably, and the rest, these are pre-filled for us. So what do we need? 1, 2, session ID, domain. We just get 1. And then we say, yeah, so we already don't need it here. As you can see, you can say session ID. And this we don't need. So here we go. And now we can domain name. And we know that's stockpilot.com in this case. And then we say name email. Email, why not? And description. Yeah, let's just do it for us this. And then we have list data here. And now my question is, why is it? Yeah, of course. So here we go. Now you might want to use environment variables for these codes, or don't want to hard code it, but for me it's fine right now. And then with list ID and data, and this is also filled by by Copilot, but it looks pretty good. Is it a post? I guess so. Yes, it's a post. And this is it. And now within every step it will also add a row to the list. So I just added a Google Paid fake GCLID parameter here, and just to test. If I now click on this, I get to stockpilot.com, and probably we are registered as a Google Paid visitor. That's just a test. Here we are, Google Paid. So we are registered. See, and we add it to a Google Paid list. The next step is we want to do a trial. So the trial is click event with our session ID, and then we say we are Sidetracker, my name, Sidetracker email, and then just a activation. Next we say confirm, and hopefully everything will happen here. So now we enrich this. We see that the name is changed to Sidetracker. We are marked a lead, and we have some extra data here. We are added to a list, and also an API does nothing. That's the one that registered the sign up, and a click event on that button that we did. So everything is now registered, and we also transformed metadata to trial is true, sign up is true. And we can see the whole history, how they visited our page, the whole journey. So now I want to go to my sign up list. We see it's added. So this is the session ID. I have to tell you, there's one thing I should add, that's good to know, is our domain ID. Because if there's a domain ID, this will become a link. That's something that's I forgot about. So that's why we want to have a domain ID. So now that we added the domain ID, this session ID is clickable, but in this case it enters 3 dots, and if we enter the real domain ID, which we now parse via API, then it becomes clickable. So make sure that you add the domain ID with your API if you make a list, because this makes it very convenient to check immediately, like, okay, who is this, and then you can go there. What we also want to check is the funnel, because we have a Google Paid to sign up funnel, and now we have Google Paid list. We have a trigger, so we have a full funnel. So let's see if this works. So yeah, now we can see that one visit of the 18 clicked on the free trial button, and then there was one sign up, which is of course me. So now we have a basic API flow through our data collection with the funnels working. And of course you can go wild and crazy from here. I can imagine, and that's something I will set up for this as well, is when someone enters the application, the first thing we ask in our onboarding, where you're from. And this data, of course, you also can add to a list, or you can at least enrich your session. So if you have your... and also at one point, when you see that they used a certain feature in your application, you can change your sales status to prospect. For example, when you see that they, in this inventory software, added inventory, then it's already more than a lead, probably, or not. That's something you can decide yourself. And you can see this in all kinds of cases. For sure, if you have an e-commerce web store, or you do some affiliate tracking, or you have a blog, you can see your own use case there. So I'm very curious where you come up with. Let me know, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.